The most anticipated NFL draft in recent memory is about to get underway.
Now, you guys ready to get started?
Bang!
He's 6'6", 220, making those moves in the open field.
Touchdown, BYU. And some shot, and Pitt's got it. Touchdown. Pitt scores it.
Surtain has got it for Alabama.
Excellent tackle, Patrick Surtain. Field looking to throw. Down the middle of the field. Passes off. Jamar Chase. Touchdown, LSU. ETN showing his power and speed.
Wait to the run, to the 10, to the 5. He's in there.
Touchdown. Devonta Smith cannot be stopped. With the first pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars select
look what is already here. Draft week. So what should we do to celebrate? How about another mock draft? Yes, but it's not just any old mock draft live. Daniel Jeremiah and Bucky Brooks. It is the grand finale. Welcome to greatness, everybody, on NFL Network. I'm Colleen Wolfe, and today's mock is brought to you by more than 24 NFL media hosts, reporters, analysts. So, DJ Bucky, what kind of madness do you expect today?
Well, I think it could get a little bit loose here. I think we have kind of the way everybody anticipates this is going to go, but I have a feeling some of our GMs today might take a left turn and could impact the whole draft. So I'm excited to see what they did.
Expect the unexpected. When you have a collection of talented GMs like we have, guys are going to go off the grid. Everyone's draft board looks like a snowflake, so we will see what the differences bear us when it comes to it.
What could go wrong? Here we go. Let's introduce the GMs. How will our friends and colleagues at NFL Media wield their power? Will Maurice Jones-Drew throw this mock into a tailspin 3 minutes into the show? Will Rich Eisen insist on taking Trevor Lawrence for the Jets even though he won't be available? Mike Garafolo's picking for the Dolphins. Will have multiple spots to take shots at Jeezy today. Will Kurt Warner be picking from a desert chic oasis in Arizona there? And so many questions will be answered over this next hour and a half. Stacey Dale's repping for the Colts. The old Zeuser has the Jets second pick. Sessler's on the Browns. Rosie's on the Saints. I want to name check everybody here, but nobody's got time for that. So MJD, get this party started, my friend.
With the number one pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, my Jacksonville Jaguars select Trevor Lawrence. Did y'all think we were going to go anywhere else? I mean, this guy's been the number one quarterback since he's been 14 years old. It's only right that he ends up with the greatest organization with the billions and billions of fans around the world. Congratulations, Jags fans.
MJD does the right thing for the Jags. Go ahead.
Sorry, Colleen. I thought there was a tiny chance he goes running back there, knowing MJD, but I think he made the right decision with Trevor Lawrence going to his Jags. It's a new era of Jags football with Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer. To me, this was a no-brainer pick.
Yeah, no-brainer because it's a game changer. The Jaguars have desperately been looking for a face of the franchise. Trevor Lawrence fits the bill. You pair Trevor Lawrence up with a culture changer in Urban Meyer. Good things are bound to happen down in Jacksonville. Duval, stand up because you got a QB1 that everyone's excited about.
A level head was kept by MJD, just like our next GM here, who was clearly completely calm and collected while discussing his beloved Jets and their potential pick earlier this week.
Look, until that card gets turned in.
Stop it.
Hey.
Stop it.
I'm just saying.
We would take Fields over Zach Wilson. Okay, got it.
You wouldn't? I mean, you wouldn't.
I don't know. I don't grind tape.
You're asking me, what did you say?
My emotions are a puddle of liquid.
I was so
sitting
confused,
in
Chris.
a drink called the draft. And I want that milkshake drank in 10 days with the right choice.
Somebody better get him that milkshake. Rich Eisen joining us live here to make the number 2 pick for his beloved Jets. The host of the 2021 NFL Draft, 8 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. Rich, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's quarterback. So Trevor's now a Duval man. Who you gonna go with now?
I turn in the pick with that sigh pointing out that I did check with NFL Network research in advance of the draft. The Jets are going to set the record for the common draft era of choosing a quarterback in the top 3 picks of a draft just 3 years apart. So with the second overall pick, I'm going to choose Zach Wilson of BYU. And the entire city of New York is going to learn about BYU football. I would proffer to say less than 1% of Jets fans have seen a BYU football game, let alone a smaller fraction of that seeing it from start to finish. We're going to learn all about Utah as a state. Mitt Romney, the Osmonds, we're all in. We're all in on this pick.
Tremendous.
Yeah, mix in a ski trip if you're a Jets fan. Go out there, get on those slopes out there in Utah. You're going to enjoy it. Now this is a connection now between Utah and the Jets. I like the pick, Rich. To me, I think he's the most talented thrower in the draft. He doesn't have the size that Trevor Lawrence has, or maybe quite that athleticism, but this kid can make every throw on schedule, off schedule, and I think he's a great fit in Mike LaFleur's offense. So I'm excited to see what this offense looks like in the coming years.
It should be real exciting to see Zach Wilson playing this offense.
Well,
this guy
I'm excited too. I mean, I'm resigned. I mean, what else can I do? I mean, there's nothing else to do other than, Broadway Joe all the way to, Sam Darnold, Samilton, now I guess this is Zach's Fifth Avenue, I don't know what to say other than the fact that I think this is.
I like that one.
Hey now. I mean, honestly, I'm excited to see what the kid can do. Hope that the Shanahan offense that Robert Saleh's bringing and Joe Douglas surrounds the guy, and everybody is left alone to just succeed. I don't know what else to say other than the fact that, go for it, Bucky. Please chime in.
No, Rich, I think you should be excited. Don't be Debbie Downer when you think about your Jets linking up with Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson is tremendously talented. He's a guy that can make all the throws. And if you squint, you can see Zach Wilson do some of the things that Aaron Rodgers has been able to do in a similar system in Green Bay. Not calling Zach Wilson Aaron Rodgers, but I'm saying the traits are very, very similar. And so you could see fireworks happen on Broadway.
Rich, it makes a lot of sense, too, especially when you consider Zach Wilson's uncle founded JetBlue. It's a Jets family through and through. So before you get out of here, I want to touch on Run, Rich, Run. So what's the deal? It's back this year. I got to know what the plan is.
Well, I got the T-shirt on just to let everyone know that NFL.com/RunRichRun is open for whatever you want to give. And because I couldn't be there, we couldn't be at the Combine. We couldn't do it at the Combine. I ran it just last weekend here in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium and got 8 big-hearted donors to run with 8 NFL legends. Last year, Mark Lowry, who was then the e-commerce chair of Walmart, ran with against Jerry Rice at the Combine and donated a lot of money for it. He has since bought the Timberwolves with Alex Rodriguez, and his world got bigger. So did St. Jude and Run Rich Runs, because we now got 7 other legends with Jerry Rice and 7 other donors with Mark Lowry to run. We've already raised over $1 million for St. Jude. And I'm happy to say I ran my 40. I'm in one piece. And where Daniel Jeremiah used to time me, now Ray Lewis did. So you're out, DJ. Ray Lewis is in. And
I saw a picture of him timing with his thumb, Rich. I saw the picture with the thumb. I don't know if this is going to be an official time. I'm just saying. I saw the picture.
Yeah, he did. You'll have to tell him yourself, Daniel. So tell him that face to face when you see him. And all of that.
Tremendous stuff, Rich.
Yeah, it'll be on the draft Saturday.
We're so excited.
At Eastern Time, so we'll culminate the draft with it. Thank you.
Everybody, you can go to NFL.com/network/RunRichRun. So donate. We'll see you there. I'll see you there. Rich, thank you. I'll see you in Cleveland. All right, straight ahead, guys, on Mock Draft Live, Lawrence and Wilson, they are gone. So who are the Niners taking with the 3rd overall pick? Steve Mariucci is on the clock for San Francisco next.
Would you be surprised if Justin Fields got drafted before Mac Jones?
We've seen Mac Jones now get inserted into this conversation. How he sees the game, how he processes things could fit in with the Kyle Shanahan offense.
Justin Fields, since he was in high school, has been the #1 guy. Now it's like, wait a second, Mac Jones is the guy. We go back and forth on it.
I don't know how you don't want Justin Fields.
You know what, Colleen? I love Justin Fields, what he's able to do. Yes, Justin Fields goes to San Fran. You have to be able to throw in that pocket and be able to protect people. And so I think Justin Fields has that ability.
I know a lot of people who are plugged in, and everything we keep coming back to is Mac Jones is going to be the #3 pick. Might not like it, you might not love it, but it's coming.
We are back on Mock Draft Live for the 3rd pick. So, of course, we're going to have none other than the Niners' former head coach, Steve Mariucci. Mooch, who's it going to be?
Colleen, this was a tough one. I'm not kidding, because we assume the first 2 guys are going to be the quarterbacks, Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson. But Niners have to pick a quarterback. And there are 3. It's not just Mac Jones and Justin Fields. I'm going to take Justin Fields, all right? He's got a heck of a body of work. He was the Offensive Player of the Year in the Big Ten 2 times. And, he's athletic, he's strong, he can throw, he's a heck of a runner, too. And I really like this kid a lot. Now, there's an argument to be made for the other guys, too. Mac Jones now, he's an accurate guy, he's a smart guy, he's a winner, he's a leader, all of those things. Not quite the athlete, all right? Only had 42 yards rushing, Colleen. But the other guy that we're not talking enough about is Trey Lance, because the kid from North Dakota State is young, and he might have the strongest arm out of the whole bunch, and great upside. So this was a 3-horse race for me, but I had to choose somebody, right? Because it's a mock draft. So Justin Fields is my guy.
Hey, Mooch, I like the thought process because it is a 3-horse race. Justin Fields is a nice fit for the San Francisco 49ers because he gives them the big, talented, athletic playmaker who also can deal as a thrower. And when you think about this offense under Shanahan, they've always been able to draw up the big stuff in the passing game, but now having a runner like Justin Fields adds an element that we haven't really seen in this offense since he was able to coach RG3 back in Washington.
Yeah, and Buck, we've talked about this a lot, about how he fits. Sorry, Mooch, about how he fits there nicely. The other thing is you're in the division, as me and Bucky have been talking about for months. You look at the quarterbacks inside that division, I think Justin Fields gives you a chance to match up with some of the high upside football you see at the quarterback position in that division, Mooch.
Yeah, keep in mind, guys, this 49er team is built to play with a young quarterback. What do I mean by that? Well, Colleen, it's like they have the great defense. So this young quarterback, if he's playing, whether it's this year or next year, he's not going to be playing from behind by much at all. They run the football like crazy. Mostert is a heck of a fast guy. They just signed Trent Williams back, and they got Alex Mack and McGlinchey on the other side. This team is built for a young quarterback to play, so he doesn't have to throw the ball 43 times a game. But if you can get an extra element where a quarterback can run for first downs, boy, that's really appealing to Kyle Shanahan.
Now, Mooch, the last time I saw you, you were demonstrating what a heavy-legged waistbender is in the Tampa Convention Center. So, Mooch, I am happy to say with confidence that Justin Fields is not a heavy-legged waistbender. Great to see you, my friend. We'll see you later. And that pick, Mooch, means we could see history in Cleveland on Thursday night. Since 1967, quarterbacks have only gone 1, 2, 3 twice. In 71, Jim Plunkett to the Pats, Archie Manning to the Saints, Dan Pastorini to the Oilers. And then in 99, Tim Couch to the Browns, Donovan McNabb to Philly, and Akili Smith to the Bengals. So, popping into the party to make the 4th pick now for the Falcons, the same team he's partnering with as a contributor for digital and broadcast this season, Steve White. Steve, congrats, by the way. Do I hear a 4th straight quarterback at the top of this draft?
Well, now that Trey Lance is there for the picking, that is an enticing prospect because the Falcons do like him. They've done a lot of work on him. Mac Jones is not an option here. Could be interesting to see how far he actually slides. But with the 4th overall pick, the Atlanta Falcons select Florida tight end Kyle Pitts. He is too perfect of a fit of what head coach Arthur Smith likes to do with the 12 personnel, 1 running back, 2 tight ends. Plus, he's someone who's ultra dynamic. You can put him in line, you can flex him, you can motion him, you can put him out wide. And this is music to Bucky Brooks' ears, and here's why. This is the first time we're going to be talking about a Falcons tight end since who, Buck? Algie Crumpler, and we know Pitts has got a lot more juice than Crump.
Absolutely.
I like it, I think Steve, from the standpoint of where we are going into next year and the year after. Matt Ryan, you can say, okay, we're committed to him for a couple more years. My only pushback, and I'll kick it over to Bucky on this, is, man, this is a win for the short term. Get you best football team on the field over the next couple years. But, man, you got to going into age 36 season with Matt Ryan. You're picking up here in the top 5. Trey Lance is there. That would be tough for me to pass up, Buck, because I could secure that position for the next decade plus.
Yeah, and when you think about all of this, though, really it's about what can we do for the quarterback. And so if you're trying to get Matt Ryan playing at a high level, you got to put more pieces around him. Kyle Pitts creates a problem in the middle of the field. So now when you think about the likes of the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if you're getting into these shootouts, you now have enough firepower to go deal with them.
Yeah, and look, Trey Lance is going to be tempting. They've done a lot of work on him. He is going to be really, really tempting. But getting an impact player with a top 5 pick is huge to the philosophical thinking of the Falcons right now. And Kyle Pitts could be more of an impact player in the short and long term than maybe having a quarterback sit behind Matt Ryan this year and possibly next.
White, great work as usual. You can catch more of Steve on the Huddle and Flow podcast with Jim Trotter. See you later, Steve. All right, as we move to the 5th pick here, and making the selection for the Bengals is NFL Media's rockstar analytics expert, Cynthia Freeland.
With the 5th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Penei Sewell, a tackle from Oregon. Why? Because they need a left tackle. Joe Burrow's blind side needs to be protected, and this guy has one of the best upsides of any tackle in this very rich tackle class. His big body is meant for left tackle, making Joe Burrow the happiest man in the top half of the draft.
Sold to the Bengals.
Cynthia.
DJ, what do you think?
Well, sorry about that, Colleen. Yeah, to me, look, you've got a couple options here. You could go with a playmaker like a Jamar Chase, or you could get the tackle. I think the decision comes down to how you feel about the wide receivers and the tackles that will be there when you pick in the 2nd round. So obviously in this situation, you just feel like, okay, the gap between Penei Sewell and who you would see at tackle in the 2nd round was just too great. And with one of those first 2 picks, it's not debatable, Buck. They have got to get better along that offensive line.
Yeah, they absolutely have to improve along that offensive line. I think when you think of this franchise, you think about Anthony Munoz. Obviously, Mike Brown is going to take that in consideration, and he may view Penei Sewell as a player that could give them that stability on the left side for a decade plus. And so when you have the quarterback, and the quarterback is coming off an injury, everything in your mind is about how can we protect him. You protect him by upgrading the offensive line.
Well, Joe Burrow's knee certainly appreciates this pick for sure. Next up, though, on Mock Draft Live, we got a tight end off the board, but still no receivers. Will Tua get a new friend to play catch with in Miami? Dolphins are on the clock next.
5th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Tua Tagovailoa, quarterback, Alabama.
Tua looks right, throwing, got his man in the end zone for the touchdown.
Tua looking for Gesicki. He's got him for the touchdown. Tua to a wide open Williams. He leaps and he's in. Touchdown Miami. What a drive. Tua goes 5 for 6 on the drive.
With the 6th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select wide receiver Jamar Chase out of LSU. And they want to get dynamic on offense, and they need playmakers like this. And if it falls this way, Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins are going to be very happy because Jamar Chase can do it all. He can run the vertical route right past the defender. He can go up and catch a jump ball if you need that. The catch and run, he can do that as well. Maybe even break a tackle along the way, and he's an excellent route runner. This is exactly what they need for Tua and for that offense. And if it falls this way, Tua, a former SEC quarterback who saw up close what Chase could do in 2019, he'll be very happy. Meanwhile, another SEC quarterback in Joe Burrow is going to be like, oh, that's my guy. We were supposed to. Nah, sorry, Joe. He's with Tua now.
All right, so LaSalle University's shining star, Mike Garafolo, gives Tua a wide receiver 1, Buck.
I like this, and Miami fans, I'm going to dig in the crates a little bit and say that Jamar Chase could be a little like Irving Fryer for the Dolphins. That physical presence on the outside that can take the top off the defense but can do all the other stuff. This is a fantastic prospect. He upgrades the playmakers on the outside, and he is a true number 1 receiver.
Yeah, I think the Miami Dolphins are going to be crossing their fingers and toes when the Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock that it's going to push either a Kyle Pitts or a Jamar Chase to them. Those seem to be the 2 targets they had when they traded back and then traded back up to number 6. So to have Chase here would be a relief in Miami.
Let's push it to the Lions now, and Mr. Toe Drag Swag himself.
With the 7th pick of the 2021 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Alabama wide receiver Devonta Smith. I know you're saying, Nate, you're a wide receiver. You play for the Lions. Of course you're going to go wide receiver. It's not that simple. You're probably thinking, well, Calvin Johnson just got inducted to the Hall of Fame. You're thinking Detroit. You're thinking White House. That all could play a role in my decision, but it's not. I just feel like it's a need right now. Jared Goff is going to need weapons. And a couple of their guys, they're gone. Kenny Golladay, he's with the Giants. Marvin Jones, he's with the Jags. So they're going to need a guy, a proven guy in a proven system that has proven to be the best player in all of football, which is why he won the Heisman. So I'm going with Devonta Smith.
Our poshest war room yet. A receiver taking a receiver in Detroit there, DJ Devonta Smith from Alabama.
Yeah, and with Jared Goff there, to me this gives him a true number 1 target, somebody that can uncover on 3rd downs. Jared Goff can throw with that touch and anticipation. This is going to be really kind of a better version of Robert Woods, who he loved throwing the football to there with the Rams.
Yeah, when you think about someone you can scheme up, he's a scheme up guy. When you watch what Sarkisian was able to do with Devonta Smith was consistently open because he has all the tools in the toolbox. You put this guy on the perimeter, you specifically create opportunities for him to get one-on-one coverage. He can make it happen. And with Jared Goff, you are right, DJ. The connection and the similarities between Devonta Smith and Robert Woods could help Jared Goff find someone that is a security blanket out on the outside.
Moving on to the Panthers here, and our Steve Smith Sr. is selecting tackle Rashad Slater, Buck.
Yeah, Rashad Slater, this is someone that you really like because he can do so much. He's one of the rare guys that you can find that probably can play all 5 positions along the line of scrimmage. You like his technique. You like the way that he's solid, particularly against elite competition. Solid overall player. This is someone that is a plug-and-play fit for the Panthers.
I know one thing. Sam Darnold breathes a sigh of relief after getting traded to Carolina. There is some buzz out there they could still take a quarterback with a couple there. Instead of getting somebody to compete with him, they get somebody to protect him. So this is a big win for Sam Darnold and his family with this pick. I love Slater.
First 8 picks down, guys. Nothing too crazy yet. The Niners quarterback decision is the spiciest spot with all the whispers about who they might take. But Mooch has spoken and Justin Fields is the man. So, DJ, Bucky, impressions so far. DJ, I'll start with you.
Yeah, to me, and I'll get to Buck on this quickly, but the fourth pick, Kyle Pitts, not being a quarterback to the Falcons, that is the domino. That's going to cause at least one of these quarterbacks to drop in the draft, and that's where things are going to get interesting, Buck.
Yeah, DJ, I think it's 2 critical points. Pick number 3, the 49ers and who they elect to take as their quarterback. And then pick 4, what do the Atlanta Falcons do with the 4th overall pick? Do they stick and pick a quarterback? Do they stick and pick a playmaker? Or do they get out and let someone else jump up? When those dominoes fall within the first 4 picks, it will set the stage for the rest of the draft.
I want to know about Mac Jones. Where is he going to go? Next on Mock Draft Live, we're through 8 picks and still no sign of him. Broncos may be the next logical landing spot, but will they make the move for Mac? Find out when we come back. We're just days away from Cleveland showing out for the 2021 NFL Draft. Join Rich, DJ, and a host of others. Seriously, we have a lot of people covering this thing live Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern right here on NFL Network. Broncos on the clock, and here to make the pick is some of my biggest hair competition out there. Mr. James Palmer, he lives in Denver, he covers the team, and there's a lot of options at 9, so don't mess this up, James.
Thanks, Colleen. I think there's something in the water in Philadelphia, how we all have really good hair. You're right. But with the 9th overall pick, the Denver Broncos are selecting Mac Jones, quarterback, Alabama. I truly believe if Trey Lance and Mac Jones are both sitting there at number 9 and they decide to go quarterback, they will go with Mac Jones over Trey Lance. And George Paton, in his first year as a general manager, goes and does something John Elway hasn't done. They've tried to fix this quarterback spot in every possible way. Free agency, developing guys, bringing back former starters. But Elway never picked anybody at the top of the draft to replace that quarterback spot that's been missing with 10 starters since Peyton Manning. And I think they believe Mac Jones's decision-making, along with his accuracy, getting the football to a whole bunch of first and second round guys, is what they're looking for behind an offensive line that they do believe is much better than a lot of people think.
Yeah, James, it's interesting. I don't have a problem going quarterback. Personally, I would go Trey Lance. I think Mac Jones at 9, much like your hair, is a little too high. But, I think you can make an argument it is an upgrade. It is an upgrade over Drew Lock. But to me, Trey Lance just gives you so much more. Buck, I don't know where you stand on this one, but that would be tough for me to go Mac Jones over Trey Lance here at 9.
It would be tough for me, but I'm going to try and connect the dots. Pat Shurmur has had opportunities to work with Eli Manning and also Daniel Jones. Maybe he's saying I want a similar guy, a distributor, a decision maker, someone that can kind of play the game from the pocket as opposed to being an athletic playmaker outside the pocket.
I do think, guys, what they do believe is that Trey Lance has all the intangibles, like a lot of teams believe. They've looked at him intensely, and they know that he is very talented. They know also, talking to George Paton, that they think he has a very, very high ceiling. But they do think he is somewhat raw, and maybe they don't have a quarterback in place for him to grow and learn behind. George Paton signed a 6-year contract. He has time and patience if they went with Trey Lance. But you know who doesn't have that luxury, Colleen? Is Vic Fangio. After a couple of losing seasons, he needs to get moving quicker, and maybe that's why Mac Jones is a little bit better fit.
All right, so another quarterback off the board. James, thank you. I'll see your hair in the alley after school at 3 o'clock. All right, buddy?
Done and done. It'll be ready.
Now Michael Irvin on the clock, and the pick is in. The Cowboys take Patrick Surtain II, Bucky.
Hey, Patrick Surtain is a nice fit with the Dallas Cowboys because DQ needs corners, and he needs corners that can give the illusion of being able to play bump and run, but are really zone corners. Pat Surtain has all the tools in the toolbox. He's a guy that is really scheme-friendly. He's versatile in the way that he plays on the edge, and more importantly, he's a solid and tough competitor. He's a nice fit for the Cowboys.
Yeah, not only you have the cover ability there, Buck, you've got somebody that's a really good tackler. He's going to join up with his former Alabama teammate, Diggs, on the opposite side. And to me, I think that gives them 2 big physical corners that really match this scheme.
Continuing on our NFC East bracket here of the draft, let's get it out to Kim Jones for the Giants pick at 11.
In this all-important 3rd season for Daniel Jones, quarterback of the New York Giants, the Giants have big hopes. They want to be contenders. That means the weapons around Daniel Jones have to improve even more than they already have. So after careful consideration, we are taking Jalen Waddle, receiver, Alabama, at 11 overall.
DJ, Daniel Jones has a new best friend.
Yeah, they've got somebody that can strike the fear into a defense. And I like what they did in the offseason. You bring over Kenny Galladay. You hopefully get Saquon back healthy for a full season. But in that passing game, even though I like Kenny Galladay, there's no way that just strikes the fear into you like Jalen Waddle would. And to me, with all the other weapons there, Buck, I think we get a true evaluation on Daniel Jones in 2021.
Yeah, this feels a big void for the New York Giants. They haven't had a dynamic playmaker on the perimeter since OBJ was traded away. So now you get Jalen Waddle, someone who's a catch-and-run specialist, also has the ability to take the top off the defense. Unique playmaker who now adds some sizzle to an offense that's been very pedestrian the last couple of years.
So with Waddle and Surtain gone, the Eagles, they find a new way to lose in the division. They are innovators. Let's kick it out to Connie and Conshohocken for the 12th pick. With the 12th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles, actually, everybody knows the Philadelphia Eagles don't need my help or anybody else's help on the pick, and I'll get to the pick in just a minute. But the Eagles are one of the best organized organizations in the National Football League. Their front office is laser focused. The draft is really when they shine. They're all in agreement on this issue. I'm sure of it. Now, that said, I'm happy to help in case they need one more voice in the war room. With the 12th pick, the Eagles select J.C. Horn, cornerback, South Carolina. Thanks, girl. Great pick. So Kyle Brandt was trying to goad me into taking Trey Lance here, and his response to Horn was, meh. So, Bucky, do you agree?
Oh, no. This is a nice fit for the Philadelphia Eagles. One, they need a big-time playmaker on the perimeter that can play man-to-man. J.C. Horn is one of the grittiest, toughest competitors that you'll find out there. Super explosive, super athletic. You think about the wide receivers that you have to defend in this division. Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Terry McLaurin. J.C. Horn is one of those lockdown perimeter players who can do that.
Yeah, I think Darius Slay played a little bit better in this upcoming season after they made a strong commitment to him. But now you've got a really nice pair of corners there for the Eagles in a division with some really interesting pass catchers. So, Colleen, the host, I agree with the host, Colleen, who agreed with the analyst, Colleen. That was a great work by both Colleens.
That one, she's got a good head on her shoulders. Great sweatshirt, too. Shout out to Coney. All right, next on Mock Draft Live, no one ever really knows what the Patriots are going to do in the draft. Could it be a quarterback with Trey Lance still on the board? Find out when we come back.
With the 13th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Kwity Paye, edge, Michigan. Years past, we always talked about Ingram and Bosa. Well, Ingram's gone. Chenna Nwosu struggled to stay healthy, so I love the idea of pairing the raw Paye with the technically savvy Bosa to show him the ropes. Plus, as the play-by-play voice, I'm kind of selfish. I want to call his sacks payday, car goes down. But ultimately, guys, DJ, Bucky, Colleen, it comes down to the board. The best teams always follow their board. And for me, that's right here. So you see Money's big board. I had Circus Animal Cookies, followed by Kwity Paye. Then I had the Smokey and the Bandit Trans Am and Elijah Vera Tucker. And it just kind of came down to these four. And sometimes this is where needs come in, right? When the grades are close enough, like between Circus Animal Cookies and Kwity, you just go for the need. And that's where Paye came in. So there you go. That's how I figured it out.
Now,
that's my guy.
The Trans Am, it's ranked a little too low for me, but otherwise, a truly brilliant pick by your Chargers radio partner, TJ.
Well, I love the fact that when Bosa and Paye were to come together on a sack, he comes with his classic, it's a Bosa bomb, and then it's also a payday. And just kind of all that coming together with Money's voice. I'm looking forward to that this fall if this is what happens. Look, to me, Kwity Paye, the numbers are not going to blow you away, but you see somebody that's dynamic and explosive coming off the edge, Buck, and I thought moved around too much for Michigan. So when they park him on the edge, let him come off the edge, I think you're going to see his numbers go way up.
Yeah, I think his numbers will have an opportunity to go way up. I like what Money alluded to in terms of pairing the technically sound Bosa with someone who's a dynamic athlete like Pay. This is a nice combination. The one thing that we know is Brandon Staley, the head coach, has figured it out wherever he's going when it comes to defense. He'll find a way to put Pay in a position to make a ton of plays.
I kind of want to go back to Money's War Room. Get him on the horn. He has animal crackers and cars there. Tom Pelissero, Tommy P. up next for the Vikings, and Elijah Vera Tucker goes 14th overall, Buck.
I like this. The Minnesota Vikings want to be able to run the football. They want to be able to do it whenever they need to and when the other team knows that it's coming. When I look at Elijah Vera Tucker, he's one of the most versatile guys that you find up front. Did a great job playing on the outside, but you also can slide him in the guard. I don't think you can go wrong with the USC product. He's a fantastic prospect.
Yeah, I think he slides inside the guard. I think he's got all-pro guard potential. I mean, he is outstanding in pass pro, and he can move people in the run game. So Minnesota's got to get better up front. They already have a great running game, but help in pass pro, and he's going to help the run game as well.
Now to the Pats at 15, and since 2015, don't kill the messenger gang, by the way, they haven't been great in the draft. In total, 53 players have been taken by Bill Belichick and company, and of those guys, just one Pro Bowl appearance. Punter Jake Bailey. There's also this. Since 2015, the Pats have had the third fewest games started by their own draft picks. All right, I'm done now. Here to make the Patriots selection, the king of the Northeast, Mike Giardi. And Mike, I can't help but notice there's definitely one huge notable name still on the board. So Giardi, do the right thing.
Well, Colleen, we got on line 1, 2, and 3, the Washington Redskins, who are desperate to move up to the 15th spot to get Trey Lance. And there's plenty of argument in our draft room right now. Pastries have gone flying. The landline has been slammed down a couple times. Belichick's not happy. But at the end of the day, this franchise needs a franchise quarterback. Enough with the placeholder in Cam Newton, Jared Stidham, whatever else you want to throw there. With the 15th overall pick, we're taking the athletic kid with the big brains. We're taking Trey Lance to run this franchise for the next decade or so.
I like that pick for me. To me, I know, you say Trey Lance is raw. I think some of his mechanical things are going to help the accuracy. He's incredibly smart, which the Patriots would covet. And he's a great decision maker who doesn't turn the ball over. So if you got a Patriots team that can run the ball, play great defense, and a quarterback who makes good decisions and can extend plays, I do think that fits with what New England is trying to morph into coming out of those Tom Brady years.
Look, I would endorse this pick because it gives them an opportunity to go all in on the athletic quarterback as their QB1. Cam Newton handing the baton off to Trey Lance. Trey Lance has played in a very multiple offense in North Dakota State. It gives Josh McDaniels an opportunity to really build a structure for this kind of quarterback. Trey Lance will benefit from a year as a redshirt before taking over as the Patriots QB1.
And the Patriots feel real good about their ability, guys, to sort of develop these quarterbacks. They've had some success. Jacoby Brissett gets some starts in the league after he leaves here. Jimmy Garoppolo gets the big deal, and that's the guy who they felt like was going to be their franchise quarterback. But obviously, Tom Brady outlasted the program. Now Josh McDaniels gets his hands on this raw mold of clay in Trey Lance, and he can build him up, refine those mechanics, and make him the guy.
Mike Giardi, everybody, live from New England, or maybe he's been live from a lake house this entire time. We just don't know about it. Thank you so much, sir. We will see you on another time. You can get back out on your jet ski now. Next up, the Cardinals and Kurt Warner. Good looking out for the quarterback. He scoops up Christian Darrisaw to Arizona, DJ.
Yeah, again, upgrading that offensive line. I think you could see them look at a weapon. It would not surprise me at all if you saw them try and move up for one of those Alabama receivers and make a move. So to me, Darrisaw is a good player. I think you could probably trade back and still get him.
Yeah, I mean, this coming from Kurt, I understand he wants to make sure that the quarterback is protected. They have made some moves in the offseason to upgrade the offensive line. This would be another step in that direction. DJ, you are right. A weapon would certainly help because you have DeAndre Hopkins and then a bunch of question marks with A.J. Green and also Christian Kirk. Get another weapon on the outside, and maybe you can go full out with this air raid offense.
And just like that, we are through the first half of our NFL Media Mock Draft. Feast your eyes on picks 9 through 16. Micah Parsons is still on the board. Gregory Rousseau is still out there. But these 16 guys unavailable. So who's next on the list? More Mock Draft Live coming your way. With the top 5 quarterbacks gone, what do the Bears do at 20? Miss Kay Adams is on the clock for Chicago after this.
The next player to be playing in the Death Star, the Las Vegas Raiders select with the 17th pick linebacker Micah Parsons out of Penn State. Gus Bradley is running the Raiders defense now. When he was defensive coordinator of the Seahawks, they picked Bobby Wagner. When he was head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they selected Tevin Smith, an inside linebacker who went on to become a Pro Bowler. And last year, as defensive coordinator of the Chargers, they selected Kenneth Murray in the first round. So he has his inside linebacker to turn that Raiders defense around, one of the worst in the league since John Gruden took back over the Raiders in 2018.
Shouts to my neighbor Omar Ruiz, who takes linebacker Micah Parsons for the Raiders, Buck.
Hey, I like this because this is something that the Raiders don't have. They don't have a shot record in the inside of their defense. And when you look at Micah Parsons, he is one of the best blitzers that I've seen in some time. Does a great job of getting home and creating disruptive, negative plays in the backfield on these blitz attempts. They need someone that can kind of spike up the punch on defense. Micah Parsons certainly can do that.
Yeah, and not only the highlights we're seeing of him running and making plays against the run and the range that he has, but his ability to cover tight ends and backs. And you look inside that division, the team that you've got to compete against, the Kansas City Chiefs, Mr. Kelsey, you need somebody that can line up and cover him, and that's what Parsons gives you at least a fair shot at with his athleticism.
And representing Good Morning Football Weekend and the Dolphins again, everybody's favorite hand talker, we got Mike Garafolo. He selects linebacker Javon Holland, DJ.
Yeah, it's interesting, Colleen, because Bernard McKinney is one of the bigger inside linebackers in the league, and now you pair him with Zaven Collins, who's even bigger at 6'4", 270 pounds. So, man, you talk about some old-school Bill Parcells linebackers there for Coach Flores, Buck. They are enormous.
They are enormous, and it's funny, we're talking about the Dolphins while utilizing the Patriots model, and a lot of their front office guys have carryover. But, yeah, Zaven Collins, Bernard McKinney, you're talking about a big, physical, imposing to the linebackers in between the tackles.
And the run on linebackers, it continues here with, oh shoot, another Good Morning Football Weekend superstar, D'Angelo Hall, grabbing JOK for Washington, Bucky.
Yeah, JOK is one of these hybrid playmakers that we're beginning to see pop up on defense. DJ and I have talked about positionless ball for a long time. JOK qualifies. Linebacker, safety type, nickel, whatever you want to do. He's a playmaker, and he's active and aggressive on the field. Great instincts and awareness.
Yeah, and somebody that's highly intelligent and is a great leader. To me, I would have put him at the front of this stack on this linebacker run that we're on. I think he is what the NFL is all about here in 2021.
We're cruising straight to Chicago now, the land of Kay Adams, and she throws one up for Andy Dalton. What do you think of Kadarius Toney here, DJ?
Well, they haven't been able to get anything done long-term with Allen Robinson, so you need somebody that can also play alongside him early on and maybe emerge as the number one wide receiver for the Bears. So I know quarterback is an option. Everybody keeps focusing on that, but this is a win-now year for them. I think they roll with Andy Dalton and try and get him somebody that can make a play.
Yeah, I know Matt Nagy may or may not be calling plays, but this would give him an opportunity to pull out that Tyreek Hill section of his playbook from his days at Kansas City. Give the ball to Kadarius Toney early and often. The Bears need to put points on the board. To do that, you have to have guys that can score from anywhere on the field. Toney's one of those few exceptions in this draft.
All right, here's a question I'd love to be answered. How will the Steelers maximize Ben's final years in Pittsburgh? A new running back, maybe some more blockers, maybe just a game of mahjong. Who knows? Find out the best move next. Okay, Cleveland, look at you shine. Host of the 2021 NFL Draft, and it's all going down Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's right, Commissioner Roger Goodell will not be in his basement this year. We'll be live in Cleveland, and you can watch all 7 rounds right here on NFL Network. In the meantime, let's get back to our mock.
With the 21st overall pick in the draft, the Indianapolis Colts select offensive tackle Tevin Jenkins out of Oklahoma State University. And listen, I may be a Sooner, but I'm no fool to recognize Cowboys talent when I see it. Not only is Jenkins a valuable pick, but he is an absolute position of need for the Colts. After a brilliant decade in the NFL, left tackle Anthony Costanzo has retired. This guy is plug in and play, and boy, has he played a lot of football. But listen to this, per Pro Football Focus, he doesn't give up sacks. He didn't give up a sack in 2019 or 2020. Fantastic in pass pro, equally as good in the run game for a team that ran the heck out of the football. And he will bring a little bit more nasty to an already nasty offensive line. They will protect Carson Wentz. They'll run the ball. Jenkins will be a big part of it.
The Sooner takes the Cowboys. Stacey Dales is someone I would never argue with. So, DJ, are you with us or against us?
Well, I like it from the standpoint it is a need, and Tevin Jenkins, who played right tackle at Oklahoma State, they need a left tackle, but he can go to right tackle. You can kick Braden Smith over to left, and Stacey is right. He will bring some nasty to that run game, which they already have off and running with Jonathan Taylor.
DJ, I'm with you on that. You may have to reconfigure the offensive line a little bit, but in terms of temperament, he is the right temperament. And as they continue to build this offense with Carson Wentz in mind, being physical and nasty and being able to run the football will only help Carson Wentz get back on track as a playmaker, particularly off play action.
Let's move it to the Titans. And Bucky, Lance Erline really wanted to come on the show, but he's already writing draft profiles for 2029. He did, however, take corner Greg Newsome.
Greg Newsome is one of those players that can do everything well. But if you put him in a zone system where he can play with his eyes, he has an opportunity to be a superstar at the next level. Long, rangy, instinctive, good tackler. Fits exactly what Mike Vrabel likes to have in the secondary.
Yeah, think about Adoree Jackson moving on. They need a corner, and this is not only somebody with a high ceiling, but a very high floor. Just a very reliable, dependable player, and somebody who ran much faster than everybody expected at his pro day. So a position of need and a really good fit here with Newsome.
So Newsome lands in Tennessee, and now the Jets are on the clock. They're back on the clock, and this time it's the new old Blue Eyes, Dan Hanzus.
Okay, so I like what we did with the number 2 overall pick in Zach Wilson. He's the kid, he's the future. Now we got to do something that we didn't do for Sam Darnold. We got to protect this young quarterback. And with that in mind, with the number 23 overall pick, the New York Jets select Landon Dickerson, center out of Alabama. This guy knows exactly what he's doing in the pivot. He's a stud. He's proven. Are there injury red flags here? Absolutely. Checked out on my end, so I'm cool with it. And I look at the Jets' history at center. Nick Mangold, Kevin Mawai. Dickerson could be a decade-plus starter protecting this kid. Jets, 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 Jets.
The old Zeuser with the walk and talk there, setting up Zach Wilson with a new center. DJ, what do you think of your BFF's pick?
Well, Dan, first of all, I didn't think he was that coordinated to do that walk and talk. He pulled it off. But Dickerson, somebody who's played all 5 positions in his career at Florida State and then transferring to Alabama, the tape is phenomenal. He's the best interior offensive lineman in this draft. It all comes down to the durability and where you feel with the comfort level there, Buck. But, man, there's no denying he is a stud.
He is a stud. Center is an underrated position, but it's one of the most important positions. He gets it done. And when the Jets have been successful, he alluded to Kevin Mawai, Nick Mangold. They get all-star caliber players at that position. Landon Dickerson could be the next one.
Somehow we are already at pick 24, which means we have the pleasure of bringing on the woman that knows the Steelers better than anyone we know in the business, Aditi Kinkhabwala. Aditi, who's your pick, and where are my plant clippings?
Your plant clippings, actually, Colleen, are sitting on my windowsill still. I should have brought them for this live shot, obviously. But the Pittsburgh Steelers, now I can't promise that this is what Mike Tomlin and Kevin Colbert are going to do. But if I had the power, the Pittsburgh Steelers absolutely 100% would take an offensive lineman. And the best available offensive lineman right now on the board is Michigan offensive tackle Jalen Mayfield. And let me tell you, an offensive lineman is necessary to protect Ben Roethlisberger, to give Ben Roethlisberger time to get the ball downfield to his wide receivers, and to create holes for any running back. So I see DJ looking at me, I see Bucky looking at me, and I hear all those Steelers fans saying, no, 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 the Steelers need to take a running back. Barry Sanders is not in this draft. So somebody needs to create holes for a running back. And right now, the Steelers only have one offensive lineman with any sort of resume to him.
Yeah, they lose 3 starters, Aditi, from last year. So to me, I agree with you. You take an offensive lineman. The only thing I maybe would say is, and you couldn't do it in this mock draft, you could trade back a little bit and maybe still get Mayfield. I like Mayfield as a player. Didn't have a great pro day, but to me, I think he is an upgrade for the Pittsburgh Steelers and can play guard or tackle for Pittsburgh. They've got to get better up front, and they lost a lot of pieces.
Yeah, DJ, like I'm with you on this. Mayfield gives them some toughness up front. The Pittsburgh Steelers have to go back to being a physical team. They have to kind of skew in towards finesse. If they add an offensive lineman and some more pieces up front, it enables them to get back to playing Steelers football, which is run it, play great defense, and then let Big Ben do his thing from the pocket.
Guys, I was expecting an argument.
Pittsburgh, they get that Michigan man. Right? Aditi, you are the
No,
AFC
we're with
North
you.
queen, and you've served once again. Thank you so much, Aditi. We'll see you a little later.
The clippings are coming, I promise.
All right. MJD on his second first-round pick for the Jags here, and he doesn't take a running back either. Like Aditi didn't take a running back. It's a safety here, Javon Holland, Bucky.
Yeah, look, the Jacksonville Jaguars need more speed and athleticism on the second level. And when you think about Javon Holland and what he offers, he gives them a ball hawk with the ability to play man coverage. He can play in the deep middle. He can do a lot of different things. As Urban Meyer looks to retool and remake this lineup, he wants playmakers. Javon Holland is one of the top playmakers that you'll find in the secondary.
Yeah, to me, Buck, he has the ability to play as that high safety. He can really cover as a nickel, ultra athletic with ball skills. And MJD, after not taking a running back with the first overall pick, got back on stride and took a Pac-12 player. So I knew it either had to be a running back or a Pac-12 player, and now this is the MJD I know and love.
MJD goes with the safety, the Bay Area safety out of Oregon there. So the clock is ticking, and Mark Sessler, St. Lucia enthusiast, who was marked by the Browns at a very young age, takes cornerback Caleb Farley, DJ.
Yeah, this is a really good roster with the Browns, as Mark knows, and they can go in a lot of different directions here with some quality depth. This is one of the 5 or 6 best players in the entire draft. If not for some issues with his back, Caleb Farley would be long gone by now. So a little bit of a risk from that medical standpoint, but the upside is enormous, and I like the Browns taking a swing here with Mark Sessler.
Yeah, why not? Why not take a big swing? Caleb Farley is absolutely one of the top 10 best talents in this draft. You're talking about someone who is long range. He has great instincts. If he's healthy, we're talking about an all-star capable corner. This would be a terrific pick for the Cleveland Browns.
Farley would be the 3rd Virginia Tech corner selected in the first round in the Common Draft era, joining our boy D'Angelo Hall. All right, coming up next, guess what, guys? More Mock Draft Live coming your way. Kyle Brandt is picking for the Bills. That's it. That's the tease. Get excited, Buffalo. Your pick after this. All right, a former Ravens first-round defensive pick screaming for a new one. We got Brian Billick going with Gregory Rousseau for Baltimore, Buck.
Yeah, Gregory Rousseau going to Baltimore is really interesting because he's long, he's rangy, he's athletic. He can slide right into the spot vacated by Matthew Judon's departure. And it may take some time, but man, the traits are fascinating. And the culture could help him be a more consistent player.
Yeah, and the Ravens always value production with pass rushers. How about 15.5 sacks in his only season playing there at Miami? He doesn't have it figured all out just yet, but to me, he's going to get a lot of opportunities to rush the quarterback there in Baltimore with a huge upside.
Your highest-ranked edge rusher there goes to the Ravens. Now the Saints ready to rock. Greg Rosenthal, he knows what's up. 60% G takes edge rusher Jalen Phillips for New Orleans, DJ.
Yeah, he's the most gifted, Colleen. If he didn't have some medical stuff from his time at UCLA, you'd be talking about a top 10 pick here with Jalen Phillips. He is a gifted, smooth edge rusher who can really bend at the top of his rush. He's got a lot of tricks in his bag to get home and pressure the quarterback, Buck.
Yeah, DJ, he's one of the rare players that you'll find that has solid technical skills and high-end athleticism. One of the more natural pass rushers in this draft class.
After football, he wants to be a professional musician, so New Orleans is kind of the perfect place for him. Kicking it out to Green Bay and a former Packer continuing the tradition of excellence, wide receiver James Jones.
Here's a live look at wide receiver Terrace Marshall from LSU. Is this the call that he's been waiting for? Is this the time? Hold on.
Yes.
Wide receiver Terrace Marshall. It's official. The newest member of the Green Bay Packers, wide receiver Terrace Marshall. Look at the smile. Look at the raw emotion of the kid. This is the part of the draft that I love. Dreams come true. The newest member of the Green Bay Packers, wide receiver Terrace Marshall, LSU.
That's big. That's impressive.
What an emotional scene there, Bucky. Also, JJ taking a first-round wideout for the Packers. It's adorable. It's not happening, but I love his son.
I get it. This is something that all Packers dream of. They dream of seeing a pass catcher being drafted in the first round. I know JJ is very sensitive to the issue, but it's not going to happen. JJ, second, third round, where you were picking the third round, that's probably the sweet spot. I like the fit potentially on the field. Marshall's one of those long, athletic guys that typically plays the position in Green Bay. I just don't know if this is the pick for them in the first round.
Yeah, and he play inside, can play outside. You see him here working in seams. He plays big down in the red zone. He'd be a great fit, a great complement to what they have there with Devontae Adams and company. But again, as much as we want to give the Green Bay Packers wide receivers, they just refuse to do it in round one.
They don't do it. They never do. Shock the world, Packers. And now let me introduce you to the man that shamed my pick, and maybe I'll shame his because I'm petty. A man who wears his heart on his sleeves when he actually wears sleeves. Our angry runner and the man who tried to will the Bills to the Super Bowl, Kyle Brandt.
I see 6,700 fans from Buffalo with the power of 67,000 fans from anywhere else in the world. And I see a squad who's about finishing business. It's not about breaking tables. It's not about breaking records or breaking streaks. It's about breaking wills. It's about breaking the cycle. It's about breaking the entire AFC right over their knees. Boom! Now listen. You've won the East.
The Buffalo Bills are champions.
You won the wild card. But you haven't won the doubters. So the way I see it, there's just one thing left to do. Win the whole damn thing. Mafia, mount up! Because Saturday night is fight night. Buffalo, let's go!
Kyle, I'm ready to run through a wall right now. Kyle Brandt joins us live on the show, and he has a very angelic look with some like a halo around his head at this point. So I'm wondering if that is any indication of where you're going with your pick. Does this mean something good is in store for the Bills?
Wolfie, I borrowed that halo from Josh Allen, the angel that came to Buffalo, New York, and now I will add an accomplice. With the 30th pick in the NFL Media Mock Draft, the AFC East champion, Buffalo Bills select 2021 Offensive Rookie of the Year, Najee Harris, running back, Alabama. Oh my gosh, I think we just won the draft, guys. That was easy. Did everybody else's Wi-Fi fail? Is that why Najee is available? I'll take him.
Hey, Kyle, I like what you're doing here, man. I think this could actually be the missing piece. This is the second scoring offense in football last year with Josh Allen and that passing attack. Well, they weren't as efficient in the run game. Some people are anti-running back in the first round. I think when you have the team ready to go and you can insert that last piece, I like getting a running back like Najee Harris, who's also going to be able to catch the ball out of the backfield. And I'll be honest with you, Kyle, unlike your selection last year, I like his chances to still be on the roster one calendar year from now.
You know, I wasn't going to go there, Jeremiah, but you had to get cheeky. I wasn't going to accept the invite for this special because last year, after 32 selections, the great Daniel Jeremiah was asked what was the worst pick of the draft. Listen, I think Burleson mocked Jake Fromm at number 9 overall, and yet you picked my pick as the worst, and yet it ended up being Isaiah Wilson to the Titans, so I think you were probably right. This one's not that.
Oh, okay, I was real quick here, Kyle. I was going to ask you 2 questions because I watched a lot of lawyer shows during quarantine.
Sure.
First question would be, did I say it was a terrible pick?
I think there was an intimation. I think he was puzzling. Probably
yes.
not.
Second question, is said player still on said team?
I don't think that said player is in the said league. So, DJ, it's not a freezing cold take for you. It's actually a good one. But that's what you get when you were binging Suits during quarantine. Nicely done.
Well, I think you got a better chance. I think you have a better chance this year, Kyle, of Najee Harris being not only on the team next year, but also living up to the proclamation of Offensive Rookie of the Year, because you put him behind Josh Allen. This offense does have a different dimension with Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley on the outside. You just need a running back that can control the defense and prevent them from loading up. Man, Najee Harris could see plenty of room to run behind this talented collection of skill players and Josh Allen.
I love hearing it, Bucky. And I listen, the Buffalo Bills are looking for one thing. They're looking for Kansas City killers, right? And I have this vision of Leonard Fournette galloping through the Tampa night in the Super Bowl and breaking their back. It reminds me a lot of Najee Harris. Look, I wasn't looking running back here either. I wanted a corner just like everybody else. But if I get the top running back in the draft at number 30, I will take it. And Bills fans, look, I love Travis Etienne too. But do not believe the fake news that he is the quote-unquote receiving back in this draft. Najee Harris had 43 catches last year. He had 11 receiving touchdowns at Alabama. He can do it all, and when they call his name, he will not hug Roger Goodell. He will physically leap over the commissioner on stage and keep running. That's what he does.
What a box
Yeah,
jump.
and exactly. Think of one last thing, too. Brian Daboll, offensive coordinator for the Bills, spent a lot of time in Alabama, good relationship with Nick Saban. They're going to be very comfortable and confident if this is a selection.
I'm
Kyle,
very
like you,
I'm very confident. Wolf, I know I was texting with you during this mock draft, and you were sweating bullets up there. You were not comfortable and confident. How you feel?
Well, oh, really? I was very confident. I just want to let you know.
Right.
But like you said to me, my reaction to your pick is, meh, that's all right.
Okay.
All right, Kyle.
1,300 yards for
send me
Najee
your Eagle
next year.
jacket. Nobody gets hurt. We'll see you later. Get back to whatever T-ball games you got to get to. We'll see you later, buddy. Orlando Brown moving right along here as the new chief, which means this pick now belongs to the Ravens, and Coach Billick is taking a second edge rusher within 5 picks, DJ.
Yeah, ideal edge rusher in terms of the frame, the power. He fits the mentality of that Ravens defense. Didn't play last year, but you go back to 2019, put a lot of good things on tape. I like this pick.
Hey, DJ, I'm with you. I like the pick because I think he fits the mold of the Baltimore Ravens. Tough, physical, great athleticism, and this guy's going to play hard from snap to whistle.
All right, well, this is it, guys. Final pick of the mock, and Peter Schrager takes Azeez Ojulari from Georgia for the Bucks. Buck.
Oh, man, this is another terrific pick. And when you talk about the rich getting richer, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers able to get an explosive edge rusher to complement what they already have in place. We saw this defense play in the Super Bowl, and they were the fastest unit on the field. You've now added more speed to a unit that already runs around like a track team.
Yeah, you've got an offense that's going to run up the score. You need a defense that can rush the passer. You can't have too many. I like this pick here for Tampa, although with the roster they have, I would not be surprised if it's all said and done, they end up just trading out of this pick.
He's Nigerian royalty. His grandfather was a prince, and now he gets to go and try and add another ring to the family collection there with the Bucks. 32 up, 32 down. Our draft is over, but we still got to talk about low-key favorite picks here. We're playing faves, well, Bucky and DJ are, from our NFL Media Mock Draft next. Get it together, everybody. We are just days away from the 2021 NFL Draft. Join Rich, DJ, Coach David Shaw, and so many more live from Cleveland Thursday starting at 8 p.m. Eastern on NFL Network. Now, a lot has happened over the past hour and a half or day. How long have we been mocking now? A full recap of today's NFL Media first round mock. Don't forget, guys, you can always at our GMs on Twitter if you don't like these picks, or if you do really like these picks. Instagram, not really sure who's on TikTok, but contact them there. As you can see, 1 through 8, and then we move on here, 9 through 16. We have the Giants taking Jalen Waddle. A genius took J.C. Horn for the Eagles at 12. Kwity Paye goes to the Chargers. Money, an amazing pick, a money pick, I would say. 17 through 24 here, we have linebacker Micah Parsons going to the Raiders, JOK to Washington, Greg Newsome to the Titans. And then as we look at the final bracket here, we got 25 through 32. We got back-to-back edge guys here going to Baltimore and the Saints, and then again to round out the draft to the Ravens and to the Bucks right there. So, I can't even believe we've made it to this point. Bucky, DJ, the time has come, though, for Cap on the Draft presented by New Era, and it's time to pick your favorite NFL media personality. I mean pick. DJ, go ahead.
I'm going with Giardi with what he did with Trey Lance to the Patriots, because in the offseason they built up the defense. You know they're going to play great special teams. They have a couple tight ends. They're going to make it very quarterback friendly. And you could play with a Trey Lance. You wouldn't have to sit him for a whole year. He's going to make good decisions. I just think it's a good fit.
That is a good fit, and since it's a personality-driven Cap on the Draft, I'm going to go with Matt Money Smith because his presentation was outstanding, and then the final product, Kwity Paye going to the Chargers, also deserves kudos. When you put Kwity Paye opposite Joey Bosa, you have an opportunity to really get after the passer. You have the technical marvel in Bosa. You have the athletic freak in Paye. Man, I just couldn't wait to hear Money and DJ announce these sacks.
James Jones, too. I mean, that was 10 points, 10 out of 10 for creativity on the video there. What a mock draft season It has been, you guys. Don't make us do another because we will. DJ Bucky, it has been a pleasure. Thank you to all of our GMs on the show today. All of your work that you put in. This was really, really fun. Thanks to our crew as well. And don't forget, you guys, catch the first round of the draft this Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on NFL Network. Good luck to your teams. Thanks for watching, everybody. And be sure to @ all of the GMs but me.